Hey everybody, Ryan Whedon here with the Hairpreneur Show. This week I'm excited to bring you something that's very near and dear to me. It's a word that I love and hate at the same time. And no, it's not Netflix because I love binging on movies, but I hate the time it wastes. What the word I'm talking about is perfectionism. Now, perfectionism is one of those words that, wow, we all want to be perfect in everything that we do. We want to look perfect when we want to impress somebody. We want to put forth perfect work when we're trying to establish ourselves as a master, as a professional. But perfection is such a complicated word because really, what is perfection? In the dictionary, perfection is the action or process of improving something until it is faultless or as faultless as possible. Another definition is the conditioned state or quality of being free or as free as possible from all flaws or defects. The last definition I see here is a person or thing perceived as the embodiment of perfection. The problem here with the definition, of course, is that it's all going to be subjective to whoever is dealing with their sense of perfectionism. My idea of perfection might be different than your idea of perfection, might be different than a guy walking down the street, his idea or her idea of perfection. There are so many different ways that the idea of perfection can be based. So striving to be perfect is all going to be from our own point of view. That's not a bad thing, but if we are striving to be perfect, how do we know when we've finally reached it? We're going to be discussing that today in just a moment. Let's cue the intro. Welcome to the Hairpreneur Show, where hairdressers get the tools they need to make more money, enjoy more freedom, and live a more purpose-driven life. Join me, Ryan Whedon, as I coach you with new ideas, winning habits, and proven strategies designed to unlock your personal greatness. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Let's go! When I think of the word perfect, I think, wow, I want to strive to be perfect in everything I do, but does that really make sense? Is it something tangible to actually achieve? And after considering it and trying to reach perfection for a very long time, I've come to the conclusion that perfection is completely unattainable. It's all in the eye of the beholder, and that eye continually changes depending on what season of life that eye is in. So for me, what might have seemed perfect to me 7 years ago is not going to feel perfect to me today because I have changed. I have had new experiences in life. I have evolved. And because so, my idea of what I think perfect is going to change as I age and as I do different things. That being said, why should I continually try to be perfect if I know that I'm never going to be perfect? Is it something that's worth striving for, knowing that I'm never going to actually reach a state of perfection? There's that quote that you see on saucers and napkins and different areas in boutiques where it says, shoot for the stars, and if you miss, at least you'll hit the moon, or something like that, meaning to have these huge dreams, and if you get somewhere close by, you're still outside of your realm of where you thought you would have been if you didn't shoot so high, in essence. So is that a good thing? Is it good to know that you're never going to get there? You might be thinking though, hey Ryan, there is a sense of perfection. Actually, you can actually get a perfect score. You could get a perfect SAT score. It's not usually something that people do, but it has happened. You can get a perfect 100% on a quiz. You can get a perfect score in the maybe a gymnastics routine in the Olympics if you get 10s across the board. There are ways to get perfect scores in things that are actually achievable. But what I'm talking about perfection as a whole, as it applies to our business in our life. What is a perfect business? How do you define that? What is a perfect self? How do you define that? What is a perfect mindset? How do you define all of these more ambiguous areas? It gets confusing, complicated, and very subjective based on what your own perception is of perfection. So why do we keep trying to put these unnecessary pressures on ourselves to be perfect all the time? I think the idea of perfectionism is an actual curse. I think it's something that damages us mentally, emotionally, and all of that translates into sometimes physically damaging us as well, because if we don't have a strong mind and attitude about ourselves, we're probably not going to take care of ourselves, especially if we want to have a perfect body. Oh my gosh, what is a perfect body? Is it ripped abs, biceps that break through your shirt if you're a male? If you're a female, is it a slender waist? Is it that gap between your legs? What is perfection, and who says this is perfect and that's perfect and this is what you should strive for? Because society always tells us that this is perfection with their ads in their media. There is no perfection. That's why it's a curse. But we feel like we still need to be perfect. So why are we trying to do this to ourselves? Beating a dead horse, and I have to say that that's probably not the best analogy to use, especially since my wife is a horse lover and I own a horse, so we don't want to have a dead horse on our hands, and we love horses and all animals. So then what is the strategy? What do you do then if you're not striving for perfection, but you still want to improve and you still want to put your best self out there? Well, here is what I've started to do in my own life. And I feel like this is something that you can apply right away into your life, where it's going to help you, make you feel better. It's going to inspire confidence. It's going to give you more motivation to not have to set yourself to these unrealistic goals. Here is what I propose. Instead of striving for perfection, strive for excellence in everything you do. You know when you're being excellent. You know when you're putting your best foot forward, and if it is excellent. Perfect, don't strive for perfection because you're never going to reach it. If I reach what I think is perfection today, tomorrow I might look back on it and say, it's okay, but I can make it better. And yes, in business, I always tell my students and my friends and my peers to ask themselves a question as they're creating their projects or doing their work or trying to master a skill. How can I be better? How can I make this better? But I'm not telling them to say and ask themselves, how can I make this perfect? Because again, that's unattainable. You're putting too much pressure on yourself, especially if you're never going to reach it, right? So what you need to start to think about is, instead of striving for perfection, strive for excellence. Excellence is something that you can do. You can be excellent. You can be an excellent father. You can be an excellent lover. You can be an excellent boyfriend. You can be an excellent spouse. You can be an excellent business owner. You can be an excellent whatever you want, excellent friend. You don't have to be a perfect friend. You don't have to be a perfect father. You don't have to be a perfect business owner, because it just doesn't exist. Why are we doing this to ourselves when if we strive to be excellent, we can always come back to that? There is no milestone on the way to perfection, but there is that sense of self when we do something. We know that if we put our best foot forward, we're giving it the most excellence we possibly can. So that is what I want to leave you with today. Instead of striving for perfectionism, strive to be excellent. Like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Excellent, man. Strive for that. It's a lot happier and healthier. Striving for perfection is a trap. Striving for excellence is a gift and gives you purpose, passion, and fuel to conquer all the challenges that lay before you. Till next time, my friends, I appreciate you. If you get a chance to leave a nice recommendation here, I would love that. Till next time. Thanks for listening to the Hairpreneur Show. No, just kidding. That's my voice. I need to come up with an outro. I just haven't done one yet. But for now, thanks for listening to the Hairpreneur Show. Till next time, Ryan Whedon, your host, says thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye!